I wake up super early at 4:30 in the morning. It was definitely dark upstairs, so I didn't record that, but I stumbled downstairs as I normally do and was hanging out here on the couch. I've got YouTube on the TV and I'm catching up on some videos. And I do a little bit of work for managing the mess then. So this is when I'm answering comments that come from viewers. This is when I am scheduling out my content. Most of the days I go to the gym after school, but in the morning while I'm still in my PJs, I like to get in a little bit of movement. Here I am doing Shine Fitness. My daughter was still sleeping and my husband was getting breakfast together, and this is when I start getting ready for the day. While my skincare is drying, I pick out what I'm going to wear for the day. Yes, that is Lily Pulitzer wallpaper. I am just slightly obsessed. My closet was actually featured in an Art of Education University article. I'll share a picture of that here, but it's definitely my happy place with all the bright colors. After we sat down as a family to eat breakfast, I headed back upstairs to do my makeup and hair. I headed out the door alone. Sadly, my daughter now goes to middle school. I have a pretty quick commute to school. I live about 10 minutes away. So I just pulled into school. It's about a half hour before our contract time. I'm gonna go in and get some things settled before I do my bus duty. Here I am getting out my class list and my seating charts. My seating charts are in folders, and of course, they are color coded by grade level. Keep my seating charts for that day in the magnetic holder there near where I sit when I'm teaching, and I'm changing my schedule for the day. End of the day, I move all the trash cans near the door to make it easier for the custodians, and I'm resetting them in the morning. Once my laptop is started up, then I open everything that I'm going to need for the day and get that ready to go. The first thing that I open up is Google Keep. So this is just a free app that syncs with your watch, your phone, your iPad, your laptop, and it's a to-do list. And then you can have to-do lists within that are different colors and different lists. So my list for the morning, I've already done some of these things. Pull out grade books, I already did that, and I did the trash cans. And I'll leave that open and then work through that in just a second. I always open up all the slides that I'm going to need for the day. So at the top in the bookmarks bar, I have a folder. This is actually, let's see, the rules have to open because that's something that I use every single day with all the students. I just have a separate set of slides with my art room rules, and we recite those at the beginning of class. I also put in any announcements, so I have to check those because we're at a new week. I do want to add something, so I'm going to put that on my to-do list so I don't forget. Update rules. And this checklist is awesome because I can check things off and then it just goes to the bottom. And then the next day I just uncheck all and then the checklist repopulates. So things like I'm doing every single day, like opening up my slides, clearing off the drying rack. It's easy not to forget those things. Then I'm going to open up all the slides that I'm going to need for each grade level. So I also have these pinned in grade level folders. So the first grade today, I have second. They're doing architectural ducks. So I open up those slides. Then the sixth graders are working on their animal self-portraits. So it's really easy to open. I don't have to go into my Google Drive to open things up. Whatever current lessons we are doing, those are easy to open. Then kindergarten comes in the afternoon. We're doing corduroy. And then last, the first graders are working on their paper bag houses. So those are all opened up. The next thing that I do is open up the podcast that we're going to be listening to. This is a strategy that I do to keep my students focused. It works really, really well with especially 5th and 6th graders at my school. And I try to rotate. We're listening to one called Whose Amazing Life, where it's a mystery and the kids don't know who it is, but it's a famous person. And I try to have it already opened and ready to go, so it's a little bit easier. So I can just kind of press play when they're here. But I rotate between whether or not the famous person is a boy or a girl. Last week it was a girl. I won't tell you who it is, so I don't spoil it for you. We're using the kid version, so this is on the Wondery app. There's also an adult version of this same podcast. The one that we're listening to this week is called The All-Stars, so I'm going to have that already set up and ready to go, and then I'm going to cross that off of my to-do list so I don't forget. Open slides, open podcast. Next, there's a little bit more time before I have to go out and greet the buses. So I'm going to take some pictures of something that I need to add to my rules slides. I'm going to leave that open too so I don't forget that I wanted to tell my students about that's different in my room. So I'm going to go back to kind of in my free time area of my room. I put my circle and square and triangle tracers, and I want to take a picture of that and tell all my students about that resource because it's something I just want them to help themselves do when they need a shape tracer. Just in this area in the back of my room underneath Pennsylvania, and this is where I'm putting these little tracers. I just want to take a picture of this and add it to my slides today. Make sure this week that I'm talking to all my classes about this resource and that they're able to use these whenever they like. So now it's time for me to run back outside. I have the duty of greeting the buses in the morning and then saying goodbye to the kids in the afternoon and checking off who's on the buses. So I'm headed out to do that. So I'm headed into the closet to get out the class folders that I need for that day. I have about 25 minutes before my first class, but just like real life, I got interrupted with some questions. So back at the list here, on a normal day, I would be unloading the drying rack and I would check that off. We didn't have school yesterday, so I already did that. I put out the big folders. That was folders that keeps the artworks for that classes. I changed the day on the schedule. I already did that. I don't know if I'm going to get to that right now or returning any artwork since I got cut on time there. 4th grade planning. Ooh, I got to make some copies. Pass out 2nd grade artwork, pull out 6th grade table folder, change objective folders. Okay, there's still lots of things to do. I updated the rules. So just kind of keep looking back at this list either on my phone or on my watch and make sure I get through things. If there's something that can happen later, like prepping these paper bag house lesson or returning artwork, and it can happen like at lunchtime, I usually put a little star by that, and then I'll try to work on that when my classes are here. And I just really focus on the things that have no little star next to it that need to be done. In the morning or maybe the night before, sometimes I will change up these little objective posters. It is Tuesday and I have a class that's starting a new project in 1st grade, so I'm going to change that one out. I also have some clips that fell down, so I'm going to quickly repair those before my first class comes in. My class is going to be here in just about a minute, so I'm going to turn on my projector. I have a wearable microphone that I use when I'm teaching, so I get that on and ready. And then I make sure that my laptop is signed into. My slides are projected up there. Then we're ready to go.